Hey everyone, it is Larry back here at LC Model Shipbuilding. So we are kind of going double duty right now. I'm still finishing up the Constitution build, which is getting close. I got the mast left to do on that and a little bit of the running rigging. So I have not quit that build by any means. Don't worry. If you've been tuned in to watch that, it will still be going on. Probably got about 2 more videos to go on that. But I had to get started on Titanic, so I have a really good friend of mine that is excellent with RC. Him and I are going to be working on building a plug and play setup, so that you as a viewer or buyer can buy basically the kit that we're going to put together and be able to sail your 1-200 model Titanic. So a few things with this kit. I am using the eBay prop shafts and all that good stuff with the B&B props and drops. So we'll be combining those two pieces together. I'm also using basically every upgrade that you can possibly get out there. So I have the mini brass for the side plating here, which will replace all the riveting and all that good stuff. I have Woody's superstructure kit. I essentially have all of Woody's brass ordered or here already. So just put another order in probably 2 weeks ago. So that will be all on the way. And then we have essentially all of the China 3D print parts. So they will be featured heavily in this video, starting on this video, first video, because we're using the prop wings. Sorry. So anyway, everybody has seen, I'm sure, or a lot of people have seen Midwest Model Shop's build. Ben did a fantastic job with his build. That one wasn't lit, but the detail level was amazing, and great job, Ben. You did a very nice build. And then you got the boat guy build. He did an outstanding build. It's lit. It's motorized. He has a lot of interior stuff done. But we all have, different methods and different ways that we're going about doing things. So his propulsion system is different than what I'm using. I'm using the eBay setup. So if you're planning on using the eBay setup, you can get it on eBay, or you can get it at the Trumpeter Titanic 1-200 model builders page on Facebook. And there's actually a discounted rate for that. So, make sure you sign up for that. And, there's a ton of information on that website or on that Facebook page. A lot of really good people, so I appreciate the posts that I've read already from them, and plan to read in the future. And hopefully my videos will start to help contribute to that group as well. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started on this, and we'll see where we end up in probably 100 videos from now. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure if you haven't yet, you subscribe, so that way you get the updates. And this is going to be a pretty intense series, I do believe. So thank you very much, and let's get going. Okay, so here we go on Titanic. There is the hull, as you can see. All right, so what I'm looking at here, I have my prop wings, which we're going to cut here in a second, getting them off the sprue. But what we need to do, these are our prop shafts, and this is from the eBay kit. So that is our bearing, which is going to be on the water side. Our problem here is this is our oiling tube, which is brazed, I guess you would say, onto the outer collar. So I need that to basically end up in here, well, going that way, and going into the ship. So these are hollow. That doesn't concern me, because I'll be able to basically bring this in through here and taper it up, and then have them coming out. The hard part is now going to be getting this measurement correct onto where it will land here, which I think is going to be right around there, but I won't know until I get these off of the sprue. So I'm going to pause it here in a second. We're going to go down to the workshop and start to cut that off. Also, I got 2 different rudders here. I'm definitely not using the kit rudder, I know that 100%. I got the brass one that came with the eBay kit, and then I also have this KA one right here, so I didn't even bother getting the kit one out. I already know I'm not using it. So I gotta make a decision on which one I'm gonna go with. I am leaning towards the brass one just because of the weight, and it is a little bit bigger, as you can see. Hold on, get it lined up there. Just a little bit, but that little bit is more surface distance in the water that it will have for turning, because where it has the extra is, as you can see, there we go, kind of got a better angle now. It is definitely bigger under the water line. So we're going to see how this works out and what we're going to do. Let me pause it here, and we're going to go ahead and get these cut down so we can see what's hidden inside them. Be right back. Okay, so here we go. What we're going to do first is separate the 2 props, or prop wings, and they are not connected, so it's not really too big of a deal to just kind of pull them apart, kind of how I am, just so we have a little bit better access. Now, these should not be too difficult to cut off. I am going to show you the glue, or the hot knife that I'm going to use for mostly stuff later in the build. But like I said, these are pretty robust, so I don't really have too much concern with them breaking. So this is an electric hot knife. It basically is an X-Acto blade on the end of a heated unit, and it allows you basically just to come right along, get a nice straight cut. From all of the supporting structures. Now, obviously, you do want to be careful that you don't miss, because it'll go right through pretty darn easy. Okay. It's a little bit thicker up here. Okay. Inside, I can already see there's a lot of supporting structure that we're going to want to trim out. Actually, it just comes out, so that's good. All right, there we go. Now we can see what we're dealing with here. So, I'm going to just trim away the last little bit remainder of the supporting structures inside here, just so we have a nice clear path. And that's all stuff, if you've never used 3D print, that is required so the part doesn't basically fall over on itself as it's being printed on the printer. Now I'm just kind of cleaning up the edge here, getting a nice even smooth edge, because remember, these are also going to have to get epoxied to the hull so that we don't have any water leaks. Okay, what I really like about these though is just the detail on the on the plate work that's there. The original kit doesn't even come close. So very nice job. Thank you, Gene and Tyler, much appreciated. Do the other one real quick. Now, I think what's going to end up happening here, I think I'm going to have a couple videos that will end up coming out pretty hot and heavy with Titanic, and then it will kind of slow a little bit. Reason for that, I have a very good friend of mine that is very good with RC, and he will be here kind of assisting in some of the wiring and all that good stuff. So we'll be doing that probably in video 2. I originally planned to do this all in one video, but I have a feeling it's going to end up going long if I try to do that. So I'm probably going to end up breaking it up into a few videos, and this one will be basically prep work, getting it ready, and then we'll follow that with the actual wiring. So this one, the center did not separate quite as easily as it did in the first one. No big deal. It comes right out with our little hot knife here. But I do need to get that clear because that is where the prop shaft will ride. If you don't have one of these knives, I don't know. I know there's several different versions available. I picked this one up at Harbor Freight for like $12. But you can get them on Amazon, probably eBay, pretty much anywhere, I guess. And really all it is basically a soldering iron with a hot blade on it. It actually doubles as a soldering iron because it comes with pieces, attachments for soldering. Okay, yes. So anyway, the other reasons too that the videos are probably going to be a little bit segmented is I'm still finishing up, if you've been watching my channel, the Constitution build. So that is extremely close, but I want to get that one finished before we go really crazy into Titanic. But this part I kind of got to do since I have somebody coming to assist with it. There's little pieces in there. I didn't end up with so much of that in the first one. Oh no, they're there. Okay. So let me just see something because there's only a few. Yeah, okay, went right through. Good. Okay, so that fits through there, which is good, except this. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to get. I may have to relocate my oiler over, which that isn't a huge deal, but I'm glad I saw this now and not when we're trying to actually put the thing together. So they will fit perfectly fine in there. And we can't go that way with it, obviously. Okay. So I'm going to finish cutting that out and determine what I'm going to do with this, and we will be right back. Okay, so this turned out to be less of a problem than I was worried about. So I bought a whole bunch of these. You can actually get these on Amazon from, who is it? K&S Metals. They make, you know, the brass rods and the brass tubing and all that good stuff. And it's just a sorted pile of cut scraps. So I went through it and I found me my sleeves that I'm going to go ahead and put over the shafts. So when I first said that they went this way, I was incorrect in saying that. So they actually go this way, which just made life drastically easier, because that obviously can get drilled into the side of the hull, and this now will fit over this. It'll come back like that, obviously, and that is going to get marine glued in with JB Weld, and we will be golden. So that will, I mean, it's a pretty decent seal. I'm going to run JB Weld on the outside of it here, let it sit overnight with the marine stuff, and then we'll put it up inside. Actually, we might be able to just put it up inside because it has a pretty solid tight fit. So I'm not too worried about that. The center prop will not be as bad because that one I actually have to drill into the hull. So I can find a drill bit the right size for this, and we'll be able to just do the drill. The problem that will be on there is we have to cut the lower part in order to avoid the rudder. So there's that. But I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed up, and then come back and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing and why and how. Okay, so I got my JB Weld mixed up, and again, this is the marine grade, so if you're doing this, that's important. I'm going to just kind of run a toothpick and kind of coat the inner portion of this. I don't really need to go crazy with it, because once I send it through, it should yep, poke out like I thought it would, which tells me that it's sealing and going all the way through. So what I'm going to do now, blow out the stuff that was inside there. And I want to make sure I don't get it like into a point where it would inhibit the prop shaft in any way. And I'm going to put it right around the connection point here. Okay, that should do. I don't know why I'm being that particular about this, because I'm going to end up sending it right through here with a whole bunch of JB Weld on it as well, so I guess I might as well just do that. Okay. And there we go. And that just will go through right to there. Oops, I'm pushing it through. And there we go. We should have a good seal. That can't really move, which I don't want it to. Just for good measure, I'm going to run a little bead of it around the outside here too. Okay, so what will happen next, I'm going to do the other side. This is going to set up and dry overnight. And then I already marked out the hole on the hull, so we'll be able to go ahead and cut them to get them ready. Okay, so that should be good. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other one quick. Okay, so we'll get this all on there again. I'm not going to be as careful on it this time because once I realized that, one, it's not going to be seen, and two, it's going to be all globbed up on the inside anyhow. It doesn't even matter. All right. There we go. And okay, so there we go. Prop wing is there. Gonna send the shaft through just to make sure it's clear. Get it off. I want to get it off the threads so we don't have any worry there. And we should be good. Okay, so next up, we're going to do some drilling. All right, I will be right back. Okay, it occurred to me what we just showed, yes, will work, but not in the order that I did it. So, had to go back and take this back apart, and here we are. We got the hull. As you can see, they are drilled out and ready to go. So, this is my this side here. So, I already got my shaft ready to go back in. So exact same thing that we did before, only this time on the ship. So we're officially putting our first pieces on, which is kind of exciting. All right, now what I'm going to use for this is CA, because we're using photo etch to I'm sorry, not photo etch, but 3D print to regular plastic, and it tends not to hold real good with regular model glue. So we're going to start with that, and we're going to slip it right through. Get my hand down there, and I need that to come out and land where it's supposed to. There we go. Well, my seal did not go out that I wanted. I think I'm actually going to slip that in once the piece is on, because there is a little bit of play there. Okay, we are through there. Now I'm sticking that on and holding tight. Now, even if we don't get the perfect bond right off the first get-go here, we're going to come back through and fill that in with JB Weld to get a good seal, both on the inside and outside of the hull. All right, we're planted. Now I'm going to go ahead and slip that sleeve back in. There we go. And we got a real nice tight seal too. That feels very good, which will prevent leaking through the shaft. That is the goal anyway. So when you drill this, it takes a lot of hogging out. There's a lot of drilling that went there, and that was up with a 6 mil bit. And this pretty much landed exactly where I wanted it to, right in that neighborhood. So I'm real happy with that. This will all get filled in. I want to hit this with the shop vac or something to get some of the dust out, but I'm going to have to cut back here anyhow for the other half. So not overly worried about that just yet. Just want to clean it out so I don't have as much plastic coming through. All right, now we'll do the other side here, but yes, you can see we are on, and looks pretty good. Not a bad seal. It really doesn't look like it had a bad seal just with the CA, so exciting. All right, now we're just going to do the exact same thing on the flip side. Well, much like Harland and Wolff, I'm going to have to figure out a better way to probably video this, because, boy, this is big. It is definitely big. Alright, so I need my shaft, I need my CA, and I need my wing. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I don't want the sleeve on there until we're ready for it. Put that in here. Just let that hang out for a minute. That's fine. Doesn't need to be out per se. And I did hit this with a file. I did that off camera, just so that gets rid of any of the little sprue pieces that are left. So just something to be aware of when you're working with 3D print. I know I'm going to end up saying it throughout the video, but boy, I am impressed with the quality of the 3D print. I do 3D printing, and it blows away what I can do, I can tell you that much. So, very worthwhile. Okay. And we're on, dead on where we want to be. Now just gotta hold it down and let it set up for a minute. Yeah, I didn't end up showing the drill out on these. What I did was I started with a 0.5 mil and basically worked my way up to a 6 mil. The hard part is the angling you have to do, because you don't want to mar up your hull, and you need to hog it out bigger as you're going. So it definitely was a challenge. Those are going to be just perfect, I do believe. So, like I did a little bit earlier, I guess earlier was kind of a practice run. So you got the practice run. Like I said, though, in one of my previous Constitution videos, I'm kind of one of those people that I don't do a whole lot of editing on this stuff. I'd rather you kind of see some of the problems that I run into, and what I do to work out of those problems, because that will prevent you from having to spend a lot of time and effort trying to figure out a way to do something. So for me, I think it's okay to see people make mistakes. I know that might not always be the most popular thing with people, but I'm not perfect, and I'm perfectly willing to admit that I'm not perfect. So you learn by doing, and if you have somebody that's willing to do it and show you how they got through it, that's advice that I don't know, you can't really go wrong with, in my opinion. But enough of that. So my next part after this is going to be drilling out the central propeller, and that I've seen two different ways of doing it. I think I'm going to try the non-cutting apart the model way first, and then if I have to, I will. And what I'm going to show you, some of the, where face the facts, some of these videos, obviously people have already done this. You got Robbie did the Model Boat Guy series and put together a beautiful model. he used a different propulsion system than what I'm using. It's the same basic principle, but there is differences. So his video had some different things than what mine's going to have in it, obviously. When we get into the detail work, you know, there's going to be things that Robbie did and things that Midwest Model Shop did, and some of these other guys that have done the builds, and they all built beautiful ships. You know, I'm gonna do my thing. So, you know, it's all kind of an experience. So here's what I'm doing with this. We're gonna cut this off right here first. Now, I'm gonna take my 0.5 bit again, and I'm using a micro drill. Not a hand drill, just a power one. And I think I can get pretty much dead on center here. Yep, I feel pretty good that I can do this. Because I'm only trying to get a pilot hole started. It's not bad. A little bit more. Okay, I feel good with that. And I didn't mar that up, despite how it sounded. Alright, so to get our shaft through, it's a 3mm shaft, which, crazy enough, is the same size of what I just cut off, because this actually just fit over top of that. So I'm going to start small and work our way up. And sorry, I'm gonna drill on here, but I want you to kind of see what the objective looks like. Now I'm going to come in from the other side with the same size bit, just because I know it's not 100% center, but this will help to even it out. Okay, that is pretty darn centered. I'm excited. I like it. Okay, that was a 2.5 mil. I'm sorry, a 2 mil. No, I'm sorry, yet again. That was a 1.5 mil. I'm going to go up to a 2.5 right now, actually. And we need to get the hole slightly bigger than the shaft, so the shaft can fit through. So I'm hoping ideally a 3.5. And I'm actually not doing any damage to that. Crazy enough, this is working. The plastic is getting slippery though on the floor, I will say that. empty full. Now, I want to see, I may even have to go up to a 4 on this. Yeah, it's going to take a 4 to get through this. So next up, we're going to go to a 3. I don't want to step up too fast and risk breaking it or cutting through, because that's just going to create more work that I really don't want to do. I'm going real slow on this, so just don't want to risk anything. Okay. Almost there. It's getting very thin at the top. It's the only thing that's worrying me. That was a 3-5. All right. Guess we go on to the 4. Just want to see. Oh yeah, we're just very close, very close. Oh boy. That is like a 4. Sorry if I'm blocking here. I want to try to do this without destroying it. You know what though, as I'm remembering, I think a lot of people end up having their shaft coming out right there. So this might not be as big of a deal as I'm thinking it is here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to do some cleanup, obviously, on that. But that is right, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's see if this fits. Yes, we fit. Okay, beautiful. So, at this point, I am going to leave that, and I'm just going to putty around it. Because when I come through here, there we go, I got my metal, and yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna put a sleeve around it just like I did with the other one, a little bit thicker of a sleeve, but not much. And that worked actually fantastic, so I'm pretty happy. I wish I would have remembered that didn't matter so much beforehand, but whatever, we got through it. And I feel like it's very straight. I mean, it'll be all right. The beautiful thing about the JB Weld Marine, it has a lot of working time, so. what I'm going to do next then, and I'll do this off video, I'm just going to seal up around the inside with a bunch of JB Weld. And then when we come back, I guess we'll start to cut the rudder, depending on what our time is like. I gotta look at what the video is turning into at this point, because this was only going to be a short video, and it turned into not being a short video. Might be just a hair big to take that. Might not be putting the sleeve on that one. Or if I do, I'll drill it out from within. Oh no, it'll go. I was just not getting an angle. Maybe not. Alright, well, whatever. I don't really need that, because that fit is quite tight as it is. And that looks pretty level. Alright. So that's pretty much what we landed with from the inside. The outside, I'm going to shape I'll reshape the bottom of that around the prop shaft. Mainly with JB Weld, and then I use some putty over it to get the final. But really, I don't think this is going to take as much effort or work to fix up as I thought it was going to, so can't really complain. And we'll just sand that down smooth. Once it hardens up and cures overnight. Okay. Good. I just want to get a little bit more on the side here, and then I'm going to pause this and do the inside. Yeah, this is also a step I don't remember seeing any of the other builders kind of go through the actual mess of cutting all this and getting it in. So, again, I want you to kind of see and understand what it's actually going to take doing all this before you get yourself into it. So, anyway, there we go. That's all pretty nice and glopped up. Just want to get a little off there. There we go. Wing props look good. I'm happy with them. They're sealed up. And we got our props inside here. Now, just because I'm slightly seeing that angled down a little bit, I am going to put something under it just to prop it while that dries. I need something just a tiny bit bigger. That'll do it. Alright, I'm going to pause and we'll be back. Okay, so here we go. That is actually pretty well sealed up, and it's starting to set already. So I'm not going to move it a whole heck of a lot at this point. Next up, between this video and next video, we're going to be drilling out the rudder. I'm not going to do that in this video. I think it'll be too long. So we'll drill out the rudder. I'll do a float test just to make sure we don't have any water leakage getting in through any of this area here. And I know this isn't the most pretty scene really, but there's not really a good way around it without going crazy. Taping things off and doing all kinds of craziness that really isn't going to matter because nobody will ever see it down here. Even in the rare instance that somebody does see it, I'm going to have a board basically here for the servo to go for the rudder, so it's just not worth going crazy over trying to get this to look perfect or anything like that. So I'd rather spend my time focused on other things that are going to make the ship look awesome and amazing. So in any case, you know, there's kind of what we got going on. I know there's a lot of dust back here from drilling, but you can basically see that's all sealed in, both sides there. And I think we're pretty much gonna wrap this video up. I'll have our next one up probably fairly soon. The holes will get drilled out. I probably won't do that on video because there's a lot of them. I'll kind of go over this real quick. Most of this will get replaced right up here with the mini brass setup, so I have that. I have all the photo etch like culling doors, and I have the Utley windows and all that, although I do believe the mini brass might actually replace the Utley windows, so we'll see what that looks like. But anyway, pretty much have every single little upgrade that you can get for this kit at this point, so it should be a pretty good build. I know this is one of the dirtiest videos that we'll probably have, basically with all the drilling and all that kind of stuff that went on. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you next time here at LC Model Shipbuilding. Make sure you subscribe so you can get the updates as they come. Like I said, I do think they're going to come pretty quick for a little while here with the wiring and all that, because I'm going to try to split up the videos into shorter videos. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you next time at the Titanic build.